President John F. Kennedy would have turned 100 years old. News 8 anchor Scott McDonnell sat down with his nephew, State Senator Ted Kennedy Jr., for a closer look at JFK's legacy.
The Connecticut Mental Health Center in New Haven is an important place for State Senator Ted Kennedy Jr. Support facilities like this were a vision of his uncle, John F. Kennedy.
In 1963, the Community Mental Health Act was the last piece of legislation that my uncle signed before he died. It really revolutionized the way we thought about individuals with mental health conditions and the way that we provide services to people. Before that time, people with mental health conditions were living in the shadows.
For President Kennedy, it was an issue that hit home.
I think that my Uncle Jack was influenced significantly by his sister Rosemary. My Aunt Rosemary had an intellectual disability, and he witnessed firsthand how much she struggled and how she was often isolated and ignored. And so he understood this experience that people with mental health conditions and disabilities faced and what their families faced.
May 29th marks JFK's birthday, and as the world reflects on his legacy, so does the Kennedy family.
I think for many years, those of us in the Kennedy family have wanted the country to really focus on his 100th birthday, what would have been his 100th birthday, instead of that tragic day on November 22nd. And because we want to celebrate all that he was and the things that he believed in and the great human being he was, yes, he was an inspiring person and a great speaker and all that, but he was also somebody, a human being who just basically cared about other people.
Ask not what your country can do for you.
My uncle was very clear in the types of things that he stood for. He stood for equal opportunity and social justice and really believed that all Americans deserve an equal chance at the American dream. And of course, the civil rights movement was just in its infancy at the time. He called the civil rights struggle a moral issue. He was the first elected person in the United States to call it really what it was.
Kennedy believes what JFK stood for, political courage, is needed now more than ever.
Stands up for what they truly believe is the right thing to do, and we need political courage today. And so my family recognizes individuals, both Democrat and Republican, who stand up and many times buck their party and say what they really think, and we need people like that in government today.
Americans know the image, the legendary figure of John F. Kennedy, but lessons from his father have taught Kennedy that JFK was special for the potential he saw in others to be great, not in himself.
When speaking about my Uncle Jack, my father really taught us all not to idolize this man like a lot of the historians in the history books do, that he was somebody who cared. Yes, he was a bright man who had high intellect and was a great speaker, but he was a person who cared, and that all of us, everyone, can make a difference in their community. You don't need to become president of the United States. Really, that's the lesson of my uncle, is not, you know, the pursuit of political office, but really engaging in our community and not leaving all of our problems for other people to solve.
Scott McDonnell, News 8.